gender specificity. 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 Why use big words if you don't know what they mean or how to say them? I do that sometimes. I think we all do. The smart people, the wise people don't. It's one the crane. Where does that leave me? I got so much going on. I'm trying to work, do my job. I'm trying to get, look, I got number 11's gravel right here going on the patio this weekend. I got my buddies hooking me up with a compactor. I got another buddy's hooking me up with a tractor because I don't have a tractor yet, and I should have a tractor. I got a wrench, for crying out loud. But if you can borrow one, you know, it's kind of like a boat. You don't want to own a boat because you're never really going to use it that much. So you want to borrow it, or you want to go out on your buddy's boat. Same thing with tractors, compactors. That's what I say. Yeah. So, got this pile of gravel. I go out this back door. That's going to all be compacted. Number 11's, I might even be able to walk on it barefoot. Now, any of you people out there, wonderful people out there, probably most likely men, because when I look at my analytics, my algorithm analytic mumbo jumbo talk on the tubes, it's mostly men. 96% men on my channel. Okay, so I'm talking to dudes this month because it's, hey, you know what? Black, white, pink, purple, gray, silver, whatever color you are. If you're a man, this is your month. We deserve a month, man. We do a lot of stuff. We work really hard. We aim to please. We keep our women happy. We keep our businesses going. We do a lot of stuff. So do women, but this is our month. This is Mental Health Month for men. You know why I'm all up in arms about this? And I'm not going to say arms, but why I'm all up and hot under my bonnet? Don't know what that means. Hot under my bonnet. That's a bee under my bonnet. I got a bee under my bonnet for mental health for men. Because you probably already think I'm half nuts because I do videos here on the tubes, on the YouTubes. But I had my first panic attack. Cue sad music or mystified music, whatever that is. Yeah, I had my first panic attack. It's been a rough month as far as, we're getting warm weather. I'm outside. You can see I'm getting a tan. I'm letting the sun beat on me. It feels like vacation every day. Next thing you know, you end up drinking a little more than you want to drink because you're having fun and every day is so festive. Why not have a cocktail? Well, you got to watch that stuff. It'll wear you out. It'll dehydrate you. You get cramps in your foot like I got in the pool on that one video. Yeah, you get cramps, you get tired, you get wore out, you get bloated. All that stuff happens when you're drinking too many cocktails in the sun. You got to watch that, kids. Watch how many cocktails you drink in the sun. Because that can play a part in that mental health aspect of men that we celebrate in June. Yeah, so my point is, man, I woke up like about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning the other day, probably 3-4 days ago. And I had this overwhelming sense of dread, doom. I had this feeling, and it was very, very precise in my brain. My brain was actually feeling the dread that I think I would feel if I was trapped in, say, a paralyzed body. If I was no longer capable or able to do my duties to myself, wipe my butt when I poo, you know what I mean? Jingle my jangle, wiggle my waggle, keep from getting those little pee drops on my shorts. You got to give it a shake. What if you can't do that one day? What if you can't make your own breakfast? What if you can't wipe your butt? What if you can't do anything? You got to rely on people to do it. And then what if there's not somebody there and you're stuck and you're laying in bed and you're stove up and you can't move and you can't get comfortable and you don't have anybody there to help you get comfortable and you just get this feeling of doom, this feeling of dread, like you can't move, you can't do anything. Yeah, I got that, man, and it was brick wall kind of shit, you know what I mean? Boom, 4:30 in the morning. I'm freaking bloated, I'm dehydrated, I'm just running too hard, I'm lifting too much wood and weight, shoveling, got stuff on my brain, ideas, concepts, projects, things going on, all kinds of stuff. Gets heavy on you, man. It's like a big freaking monkey on your back. No, screw that. It's a big ape on your back. Big silverback ape. And that ape's got you in a freaking rear naked choke, right? Imagine an ape's arms coming around you. He's got a silverback. Yeah, his back's kind of like grayish silver, and that son of a bitch is wrapped around you. He's got his legs locked, and got your back, and you're standing there still. Because that ape ain't taking, ape or gorilla, whatever, he ain't taking you down. Because you're strong. We're all strong. But we have weak moments, when you wake up early in the morning and it's dark, and you're like, oh, right now, Kick In soundtrack, Metallica, this Metallica song from back in the day when they had the first videos back in the day, like in the 80s, early 90s. They had this video come out, and it was really devastating kind of video about a soldier who was totally just injured in battle to the point where like he didn't have legs and arms, and they had this weird thing on his face, and he couldn't talk, and he was doing SOS with his head, like to let him know, hey, I can't live this way. If you're giving SOS with your head, and you're watching my channel, and you believe, and you tell me your weight, and I'm going to take some of that weight. Even though I was overloaded this week, you got to see those messages written on the wall. You got to say, hey, I've never gotten up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, sat on the edge of my bed in dread and doom and this over-rushing feeling of crap pouring down on top of me. I've never felt that before, and I don't want to ever feel it again. And I don't want any of my brothers out there to feel that, or my sisters, to be honest with you. I used to have a buddy that would get panic attacks, and, we made fun of everything, but I never really made fun of my buddy for having them because it was so sincere. His dread, his doom was so sincere, and it was paralyzing. Paralyzing, Here I am talking about mental health and 75% suicides, male, all this stuff, and I'm giving away knives. Maybe I should be giving away hugs. Yeah. I'm giving all my bros out there, all my subscribers, all my people, I'm giving you a big hug right now if you're feeling the way I felt earlier this week. Because you can't control it. There's no definition. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm a happy dude. I got a lot of things to be happy for. Really do, I've got good health. I've got a beautiful wife. I've got a great home. My wife's looking at me right now. Look. What are you looking at? She can't hear me, though. She's giving me a dirty look when I said I have a beautiful wife. She's like saying, hey, you forgot to say sexy. She's awesome. But you hear, like when you hear celebrities, and wealthy people, and they end their life, doesn't that tell you it's real? It's nothing to mess with. I was going to try to say trifle with. I don't even know if that's a word. You know what I was going to say. It's nothing to mess with, because, like I have in my head, I kind of like, I try to make common sense of things that don't seem common sense to me. So like if it seems out of normal and it seems out of sense to me, I got to like try to say, well, why? And why am I not getting it if it is a real thing? And if I can't figure that out and I can't come up with some kind of commonsensical thing that says, oh, yeah, then I'm like, okay, I'm not really a believer of that specific situation. I remember back in the day when I was young, and this is right around, it was in the 80s, I think, late 70s, early 80s, my teenage years, when I had to think about what is homosexuality, because then it was becoming much more prevalent, relevant in your life. And I thought to myself, are you born gay? Wow, I'm getting off on it, whatever. But this is going to lead into the mental health thing. Are you born gay, or do you become gay, or what? Do you choose to be gay? And I thought, man, that is not a choice I would make. I'm truly a heterosexual dude. And that doesn't make me any better or any more special than the next guy. But what I did was I kind of like put myself in somebody else's shoes. And I was like, okay, so the popular music star back then was George Michael. Boy, we all knew he was gay. Couldn't believe it at first. Just like all the music stars, you know, Iron Maiden, whatever. I mean, look, Boy George. How long did we like rack our brains over whether or not Boy George was a gay guy? Jeez, he's like the first transgender dude that I know of, other than like, you know, when you start getting into Little Richard and those guys. But my point is, as I said, George Michael is a stud. You know, remember he had like the 5 o'clock shadow. He had the leather coat. He had the great hair. He had the tan, good body. He was this. When you were a young dude, you were thinking, man, this dude's getting all the ladies. Nope, he wasn't. And he chose dudes because something in him chose the dudes, chose that feeling. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong or any of that crap, but if you're a rich millionaire at the time, superstar, songwriter, musician, and you're like a perfect specimen of a man, and you're choosing dudes, you didn't choose the dudes. Dudes chose you. It's in your something, got a little wiggle waggle with your chromosomes. So that's the way I view it. There ain't no way a guy like that would choose dudes if there wasn't something deep down inside it. Ferguson barking.